once again, in the same spirit as earlier, 1 or 2 minutes for a brief recap to get the perspective, and then we go into some details. Later, we try to give you some integral picture. And right at the outset, I would want you to disperse yourself throughout the classroom, I would say, so that I can at least reach out to small groups of you. I will need to interact with you more intensively today onwards till the last lecture. I also expect we should be able to take up a number of problems which I have been saving time for. I know I have tried to give you assignments, but I realize that is not sufficient. You need more practice, more interaction. So, you just redistribute yourself so that I can reach out to every small little group. Probably occupy seats near an end and avoid the seats at the center. Okay. So, it will be easier for me to reach. So, what did we start with? We wanted to model a foam bed reactor. The reaction we had taken as a case study is sodium sulfide oxidation. Sodium sulfide happens to be in the effluents of kraft paper mills, and they are the odoriferous compounds in the effluents. If you have passed by a paper mill, you would have that distinctive smell. Oxidation of sodium sulfide into thiosulfate renders it odorless. Thiosulfate has no smell. The reaction of sodium sulfide with oxygen, like all sulfur chemistry, is complex. So, there will be number of elementary reactions. Overall reaction can still be regarded as a second order reaction, and by choosing appropriate concentration of sodium sulfide, we could even treat that reaction as pseudo first order. So, that makes our life simpler. Non-linearity in the reaction kinetics will be eliminated by this pseudo first order approximation, which means the concentration level of sodium sulfide would be such that relative to the time scale or the residence time in foam section, the depletion of sodium sulfide near the surface of liquid films will be marginal. Pseudo first order reaction means that the other reactant, sodium sulfide, would react with oxygen. However, the change in concentration will not be so significant, and if we conform to that pseudo first order condition, then we can regard this as a linear problem. That was on reaction kinetics, a simplification we achieved. And then the second thing we realized is that the real challenge and complexity of the reactor stemmed from the complexity of foam structure. I repeat, the real foam structure is not amenable for analysis of gas absorption even with this simplified reaction kinetics, because we simply do not know what the size variations, shape variations are there, and how to model these liquid films with their varying shapes and sizes. So, that challenge was overcome based on the historical studies by Plato and his 3 laws about 3 and 3 films meeting together in a Plato border, that is the edge of each film shared, and 4 and only 4 Plato borders meeting together at the tetrahedral angle, and last one was surface energy minimization. So, when you scan the whole range of options you have from mensuration, there will be couple of shapes which come to the mind. One is the Kelvin cell, which is a little more complex. So, we settled for regular pentagonal dodecahedra, which are basically each bubble is regarded as a dodecahedron, 12 faces, each face is pentagonal, and all sides of each face are equal. Surface energy minimization will be automatically used in the fact that this is a shape which is approximating the real shape. Only space left out is about 3%, and that we allow for liquid to occupy. Okay. I don't have time to go into the details of it, but it is experimentally one of the methods. Suppose I give you on a drawing board pins randomly stuck, and if I want to know what is the minimum distance on the average between these films, what could I do? One simple way, today you would say, I will take a photograph and then I will WhatsApp to my friends and I will talk to people who do image analysis, image J, and then I can find the area. But 200 years back there was no WhatsApp, there were no algorithms to solve your problem quickly. So, but people were smarter. Please remember that they are a lot smarter than you today. Every way, physically, anatomically, physiologically, intellectually, every way. You are nothing compared, because now you are products of division of labor, nothing but tiny entities specialized in little things. Please remember, when you get older you will appreciate my sentences much better. So what did those people do? They knew how to make soap solution. Okay. I will take a very little time to recall a quotation which runs like this: man's desire to be intoxicated is much older than his desire to be clean. So alcohol was invented by primitive chemists and chemical engineers, alchemists, much earlier than the soap was invented. But about 200 years back people had the knowledge of soap. So they knew soap solution can form these films. So they would make a soap solution, dip this drawing board into it, and the foam films will be connecting these pins with the minimum area. So that surface energy minimization is done automatically because we have foam. So once we ensure that the basic laws of foam structure are followed and the hold of considerations are reasonable, that will be automatically satisfied. Okay. So we did that, and then we realized that upon scrutiny of this idealized structure, we really have to consider only one foam film. We also needed to handle the question of variation of thickness of liquid film, foam film, from bottom to the top of the foam section. And there we needed, of course, experimental data, those gamma ray spectrophotometric measurements of liquid hold-up variation. For inviscid liquids, it showed the liquid hold-up drop very sharply near the interface with storage and then became almost constant. So that allowed us to approximate the liquid hold-up at an average value. Once the liquid hold-up is at an average value, film thickness can be regarded as constant. So once all foam films have the same thickness, then it did not look like a very difficult problem now, because now we realize that from this idealized structure that one unit you can focus on is the single foam film surrounded by two gas pockets. And if you could analyze the ascent of this film from the bottom of foam section, we should be able to analyze the gas absorption entirely. Okay. So we did the simplest things first. We first wrote in a continuous operation of a foam bed reactor where the cross flow is there, the material balance. So it allowed for the liquid flow in and out and then liquid exchange with the foam section. So we wrote a material balance for storage section, and that allowed us to get an equation for predicting the concentration of sodium sulphide with time. But it had one problem. We still did not know what is the concentration of sodium sulphide which is partly reacted in the liquid draining from the foam section. And there we needed to make use of this sub model for foam bed reactor, just a foam film. And once we realized that a foam film has to be analyzed, we realized that the problem is similar to the level we started with, just the transient or unsteady state diffusion reaction equation with a first order reaction accompanying. And it required one initial condition, two boundary conditions. If we could solve that, we would get the concentration profile. Once we get the concentration profile, we can get the gradient at the film surfaces. Once we get the gradients, then we can integrate the gradients and obtain the amount absorbed per area. Total area is known. So we know how much of oxygen will be absorbed from air, and then by stoichiometry we should be able to relate it to the sodium sulphide consumed. We know how much a foam film is carrying and how much is reacted, so we would know how much is unreacted. So that concentration could be found. Now where did we stop last time? Last time we stopped at still the little tedious part of solving the differential equation. So because I had set up everything for you, I expected if you only were active and attentive, you would be able to do it all by yourself. Having said that, let me recap what we had done. We took Laplace transform of that equation, dou Ca by dou Tc on left hand side equal to dAb dou 2 Ca by dou x square minus lambda Ca, and then in that process of taking Laplace transform, initial condition that at time 0 entire film is free of oxygen, Ca is 0, that gets absorbed, and the two conditions, that is at the surface, which is related to depletion of oxygen in the gas pocket, equated to appearance or absorption into the liquid film, corrected for the equilibrium concentration at the liquid phase. So we got rid of the gas phase concentration. The problem was then reduced to solution of only Ca from that equation. So we took the x equal to plus a and minus a boundary conditions, transform them also, taking care that when you take Laplace transform of that term L dou Ca by dou Tc on the left hand side, there also will require initial condition, but that is for Ca at x equal to a, and that is not 0. That will be the equilibrium concentration at the surface at time 0 when the gas pocket has concentration say Ca star or Cag 0, whatever. Corresponding to that, there is multiplication by Henry's law factor. So K Ca 0 star is that initial concentration for that boundary condition. That is an important point. Once you do that, then the problem is simple. You solve it for Ca bar, and then you obtain the constants of integration from the transform boundary conditions. And one more thing, you could use x equal to plus a and x equal to 0 at x equal to 0 if you say the gradient will be equal to 0. That's alternative formulation. Identical solutions will come out, and that solution in the Laplace domain is something I guess Arjun had already put up on the board, right? So up to that point, I suppose everybody knows, right? What I would do is I'll try to show you the steps beyond and then return back to this calculation of the unreacted B concentration in the drainage stream. So let me write a few equations. The concentration Ca bar, transformed concentration profile within the film, Ca bar is Laplace of Ca x comma Tc. Okay, that will work out to be this L K Ca star cos kx divided by PL cos Ka minus K d sin Ka. You all agree? This is what we had got last time. Now, making use of the fact that Laplace inverse of Fp by Gp, where P is the Laplace parameter, is given by summation n equal to 1 to infinity f of Pn divided by G dash Pn exponential Pn Tc. That was the theorem for Laplace inversion, which is basically a residue theorem taking care of the contour integration. Here we should be able to use it, and the Laplace inverse for this C A bar should be straightforward, provided we understand that L K C A star, these are constants. L is V B by 12 Ks, K is the Henry's law factors, and C A star is the gas phase concentration. It will be initial gas phase concentration in this case. And in denominator, and there we have cos k n x. So we will treat this constant LKCS0 star cos Ka as Fp, and Gp will be the denominator, PL cos Ka minus KdA sin K. I might just drop the subscript A at times, just understand that D and D are interchangeable. I will take this denominator as Gp. Entire inversion now is reduced to simply taking the derivative of the denominator, but there are some more things to worry about. So, if you set this denominator equal to 0, Gp equal to 0, you can see that we will have a relationship coming between P and K. Let me maybe do something else. Let us call this maybe K1, so that there is no confusion. This K1 is the Henry's law constant, okay. Because I am using K, I do not want it to be confusing. This K, on the other hand, is related to P, and as we argued that Gp equal to 0 will give you all zeros, P1, P2, P3 up to P infinity. Corresponding to those, there will be K1, K2, K3 up to K infinity. Okay. So, we have these pairs of P's and K's contributing to the sum. Okay. This is important to understand. In writing this inversion, we will be needing the different Pn and Kn values. You see Pn only here, right? But since the zeros are to be obtained by setting this Gp equal to 0, which is the square bracket at the bottom here, denominator, equated to 0, and presumably because it is a transcendental function, sine and cos is there. So, if you combine them, we will get a tan k kind of term. You know how the tan plot will look, the family of those curves. Left hand side will be kind of straight line. So, it is the roots which are intersections of the family of the transcendental functions with the line. So, there will be infinite roots, those are the Pn's, and corresponding Kn's will be there. How are Pn's and Kn's connected? When you set Gp equal to 0, P will become Pn, K becomes Kn, and then we have L Pn by dA is equal to Kn tan K, Kn tan Kna. Solutions of those Pn's and Kn's will be required in writing this inversion, because your G prime Pn will have these cos k, sin k terms in some way, right. So, those Kn values also will require, you do not say I wrote here G prime Pn, but actually there will be Kns also inside. Exactly. Pn's P1 to P infinity are the set of those roots which are zeros for Gp. For each of them, Gp will be equal to 0. Gpn is equal to 0 for every n running from 1 to infinity. You get that? Okay. So, the problem is only then determination of this derivative and evaluations of Pn's and Kn's. Now, do not forget that we had one more relationship between Pn and Kn. Do you recall where it is? When you simplified the ordinary differential equation in Ca bar, you had, on my suggestion, written minus Pn plus lambda by dA as k square. After that, you could write sin k a cos k kind of, sin kx cos kx kind of. So, from there, minus Pn plus lambda whole thing divided by dA is equal to k square. We have second relation between Pn and Kn. So, two equations. So, we should be able to solve this, right. So, when you do this, the solution comes out to be, and I would want you to check. I have a lot more complex solution here with me. It is originally for a reversible reaction, but I am going to simplify it for you we only take irreversible reaction. So, I will only write the simplified concentration profile which you should verify. Okay. Maybe I should pen down here this particular fact. Gp equal to 0 will give you P1, P2, etc. up to P infinity, whatever. Okay. And this minus Pn plus lambda by dA equal to Kn square. This is one equation, and this gives you Lpn by dA is equal to Kn tan Kna. This is the other equation. These two equations have to be solved to find P1, K1, K2, K infinity, etc. I hope each one of you has been able to grasp what I am saying, right. So, if this is all clear, should I rub it? Need a minute, I can give you. Write or take a snapshot, it is okay. So, the concentration profile, when you work it out, will be this Ca of x comma Tc. The concentration profile will work out to be the following: summation n equal to 1 to infinity K Ca0 star cos Knx divided by cos Kna, and there is this term I have no space for, so I write separately. It is in the denominator this term 1 plus a by 2l plus Pn divided by 2 dA Kn square plus Pn square La by 2 dA square Kn square. This is that bracket. When you take G dash P denominator, yeah. No. So, G dash P will have P. See, this P is there. No? Here is there, it is here, and it is also in K's related to K. K's are related to P's, right? But there is one point I think when you work it out, I have to tell you. When you are going for division by G prime P, the expression for G prime will be a lot bigger than what you see here. So, did I just leave out the part which was not accommodated here? I did, but in view of the fact that Gp is equal to 0. When you take G prime P, within that G prime P expression, you will find a certain combination which works out to be equal to Gp, but Gp is 0. So, we drop that. So, in a sense, this curly bracket you see here is G prime P making use of the fact that Gp is 0 or G of Pn is equal to 0. Otherwise, you will come back and tell me that the expression you gave is wrong. Okay. Is that clear now? So, the concentration profile you should be all able to verify. Can we go further? Now, the last part comes, that is the amount of gas absorbed. We needed the profile in order to obtain the amount of oxygen absorbed by half of foam film containing sodium sulphide. So, how do we do it? Say this is the foam film and that is your concentration profile. You have the expression for concentration profile Ca of x comma Tc. You can get this gradient by differentiating, and since x is equal to 0 at the center, as you go for increasing x towards plus a, the concentration is increasing. So, the gradient is positive. This gradient multiplied by diffusivity will give you by the Fickian law the flux. Okay. So, we have Ca, we obtain dou Ca by dou x and calculate it at x equal to plus a, plugging the solution that we have just seen. Multiply this by diffusivity, because this is positive quantity, that is a flux, and since in the time of residence Tc star the amount of oxygen absorbed will be, this is per time, you need to obtain in a given time how much oxygen has been absorbed. So, we should be integrating this with respect to Tc for the whole time scale. So, we might say, let us say m is equal to integral 0 to Tc star. Tc star is the time foam film has spent till the top of the foam section. This flux dA dou Ca by dou x at x equal to plus a dTc. We obtain this here, plug in this gradient, dA is constant, integrate, you should be able to get expression for m. M is amount of oxygen absorbed by the foam film per unit area in total time of contact Tc star, right. M is the total moles of oxygen absorbed per area by the foam film in the total time of contact Tc star. Is that clear? Flux integrated over time, that will be amount. Moles per area per time, integrated over time, time goes out. So, moles per area. So, now I will give you the final expression when you work it out with the missing steps that you will require. Okay. So, maybe I can write here itself. M divided by m infinity. M infinity here, if let us say Tc star were infinite, if you had foam extending to infinite height and the gas phase reactant were limiting, then m infinity is 0 to infinity this integral dA dou Ca by dou x at x equal to plus a dTc. M infinity is nothing but value of m at Tc star equal to infinity. If the gas phase is limiting given infinite time of contact, would it not be that whatever is present, oxygen present in the gas pocket will all land up within the foam film? Everything that can react has equivalent sodium sulphide inside and more than that. So, given the infinite time of contact, all oxygen within the gas pocket will land up into the foam film and will react with sodium sulphide. That amount per area in infinite time is this m infinity. So, that suggests us for the limiting oxygen content, m infinity should be equal to the contents of oxygen in the gas pocket. Whatever is present in the gas pocket will end up being absorbed. And what is that? M infinity could be written as Vb by 12, that is the volume of the gas pyramid, times this Ca 0 star, gas phase concentration to begin with. This is the total moles which are present in the gas pocket, but since we defined this as per area, we also will require the area of the film S here. M infinity will be Vb by 12 Ca 0 star by capital S, where S is the area of the pentagonal film. Why? Because this we have defined per area, we have not multiplied this by S, and M infinity we want corresponding value of M. All right. So, if I give you now the expression for m by infinity, that is what you have to be able to get first. You have been told to get the concentration profile. Now, you have to get the ratio of this m to m infinity, and which is this 1 minus summation n is equal to 1 to infinity exponential P n T c divided by 1 plus A by 2L plus Pn by 2 dA Kn square plus Pn square L A divided by 2 dA square Kn square. This is the same curly bracket that I had written earlier. 1 plus A by 2L Pn by 2 dA Kn square plus Pn square La by 2 dA square Kn square. I will tell you. That is why I gave you this here. See, if you take this expression over here for m and substitute Tc star as infinity, you would get as a result of this final integration completion a certain series containing Pn's and Kn's. Okay. Otherwise, you would not know what the value of that series is, but you know that m infinity is equal to this. So that will be the source of us getting this expression. Clear? Or you might go back to the previous observation. We had Ca in which we had written LK Ca0 star. Speak louder. In the summation, exponential Pn Tc is time, which varies between 0 to Tc star, and the denominator is nothing but that same series which we had in the curly bracket in the previous expression, 1 plus A by 2L plus Pn by 2 dA Kn square plus Pn square La by 2 dA square Kn square. Okay. I may just give you this observation. In the previous expression for Ca, we had LK Ca0 star. Okay. In the expression for m by m infinity, you don't see that. Okay. It has gone in here through this. Clear? Yes, because the gas pocket has the limiting reactant. Everything which is in the gas pocket will be absorbed given infinite time and will be reacted inside the film. No. See, you may say that, okay, is it because of convenience that you are getting that? What if the gas phase is not limiting? Okay. If the gas phase is not limiting, then this expression won't be valid, because we can't equate that series to this. And incidentally, what happens is, supposing liquid phase is limiting, then in certain time the liquid phase reactant will vanish. After that, it will be absorption of oxygen into a water film. There is no reaction there. Then the problem changes from chemissorption to physisorption. It's just the physical diffusion, no reaction. So that problem becomes entirely different. No, that is all fine. See, that is coming from hydrodynamics. It is measured from the liquid hold-up profile. Like in the packed column, the area was independent of mass transfer. Here, liquid hold-up profile is practically independent of the gas absorption. Okay. So I guess the harder mathematical part has been explained to you. Now what remains is very little and a single step, and let me write that. So I need to rub this off. Can I move further? Can I remove all this in the denominator? I call in m by infinity? No. It goes out because we are calculating at x equal to a. Cos knx in numerator and cos kna in the denominator at x equal to a will vanish. Got it? So what is this all about? We have got m, which is the amount of oxygen absorbed by the half film in time Tc star. Okay. Tc equal to Tc star we replace, and then we get m at Tc star. This is known. If all of this reacts with sodium sulfide, the concentration of sodium sulfide will decrease, and the draining concentration, if m evaluated at Tc equal to Tc star is the total amount of gas absorbed per unit area in time Tc star, then I can multiply it by the area S. Okay. That will give me this new m, which is the total amount absorbed by one phase of a film, half a film. Okay. if the volume of the film is V1 by 2, liquid film has volume V1, so half film will have volume V1 by 2, and if Y is the stoichiometric constant, which is the moles of sodium sulphide reacted per mole of oxygen reacted, then the amount of sodium sulphide reacted will be m by V1 by 2 into Ya, that is per volume, or in other words, this m which contains S now, we multiply, this is the total amount of oxygen absorbed, Ya into that will be total amount of sodium sulphide reacted, that will be reacted in this volume V1 by 2. So, YAM containing S divided by V1 by 2, which is this 2 YAM by V1, is the change in concentration because of reaction of sodium sulphide. Initial concentration when the foam film starts is Cb. So, Cb minus this is the drainage concentration. Okay. We simply have to plug it in that equation for that material balance. Now, only had Cb1 unknown here. In this equation only Cb1 was unknown, we obtained that, we plug in here and then solve this equation with the initial condition that at time 0 the storage section has sodium sulphide concentration equal to Cb0, and once we solve this we have the equation or model to predict sodium sulphide concentration in the storage section as a function of time. When it actually comes to calculation, it does get further complicated, but for the time being I will stop here. I will explain it next time.